Writing equations in point-slope form. All right, so here are the standards. Remember, the standards do overlap from one section to the next, so you have seen some of these before, but remember these are important as these are the state standards that you need to be familiar with and make sure that you can do by the end of the term. All right, also your success criteria. This tells you what you need to know for this lesson. You need to be able to use a point on a line and the slope to write an equation of the line. You also need to be able to use any 2 points to write an equation of a line. We did some of that in the last section with slope-intercept form. And you need to be able to write a linear function using any 2 function values. All right, vocabulary. Point-slope form, a linear equation written in the form y minus y subscript 1 equals m times x minus x subscript 1 is the point-slope form. The line passes through the point x and y subscript 1, and the slope of the line is m. All right, so this x and y subscript 1, this is just any point. And if you look up here, it kind of gives you an image of this. Here's x and y, just some random point, and then this is a known point. So be aware that that is point-slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. All right, example 1, using a slope and a point to write an equation. Write an equation in point-slope form of the line that passes through the point -8, 3 and has a slope of 1/4. All right, so it gives us the equation here, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So this shows you this is your known point. So we are given a point, -8, 3. So our known x1 and y1 go here. And m is the slope, so the slope is 1/4, m will go here. That means the other 2 variables will stay the same. So let's go ahead and write an equation here. So we're going to have y minus, remember x is first and then y, so y minus 3 equals, and then m. So our slope goes after the equal sign. So it says it has a slope of 1/4. So we're going to put 1/4 here. And then it says x, we don't know what x this is, it could be any point, x minus the known point. So x minus, and then -8. All right, so we can shorten this a little bit. So y minus 3 equals 1/4 times x plus 8. So if you have a minus a -8, that's going to turn into a plus. All right, you should pause the video and try this one on your own. Again, you have the equation right here, the formula that you need, and all you have to do is plug it in to the right spot. When you have time to do that, start the video back and see if you got it correct. All right, hopefully you had time to do the self-assessment and you got the equation y minus 0 equals -2/3 times x minus 4. This is in point-slope form. You can drop the 0, y equals -2/3 times x minus 4, as 0 is just a placeholder in this equation. But this is the point-slope form, so either one of these would be acceptable. Example 2 says using 2 points to write an equation. Write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line shown. Okay, now remember, slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. Right now, this lesson is point-slope form. But if they're asking us to write an equation in slope-intercept form, that means we may have to go to point-slope first and then switch it over. So let's see what information we have. All right, so slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. All right, so we're given a graph. We're given 2 points. We know that given 2 points, we can find the slope. So let's find the slope. All right, remember it's going to be y minus y, so 2 minus -2. and then x minus x, so 1 minus 3. So 2 minus negative 2 would be 2 plus 2, or 4. 1 minus 3 would be negative 2. 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. So now we have a slope and a point, or a slope and 2 points. So we can use point-slope form. So let's go to point-slope form, y minus 2. So we got x and y. Remember, 2 is our y minus y equals, m is our slope. We just found our slope, negative 2 times x minus our x from our first point, so 1. All right, so we wrote an equation, but this is in point-slope form. We need to write an equation in slope-intercept form. So what do we have to do? We have to solve for y. First, let's get rid of the parentheses by using distributive property. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 1 is plus 2. All right, now to solve for y, we simply need to add 2 to the other side. 2 doesn't have a variable in this case, so we skip the first part and add it to the y-intercept. So y equals negative 2x. 2 plus 2 is 4. So there were a couple steps we had to do here. So remember, you had to find the slope, then you had to put it in the equation that you had, point-slope form, and then you had to solve for y and put it in slope-intercept form. So sometimes the information that you're given doesn't go straight to the answer. Sometimes you have to take some steps to do a couple more things to get there. All right, this says another way you can use either of the given points to write an equation of a line. Use m equals negative 2, that's our slope, and 3 negative 2. So if you chose the second point, I chose this first point. If you chose the second point, you still would have got to the same equation. So either point on the line, if you put it in point-slope form and then solve for y to go to slope-intercept form, you will get y equals negative 2x plus 4. All right, example 3, writing a linear function. So this one says write a linear function f with the values f of 4 equals negative 2 and f of 8 equals 4. All right, so remember from a previous lesson, when they give this in function notation, this is just giving you an x and a y. So basically they're giving you an ordered pair. It just looks a little different. So remember, this is f of x and f of x equals y. So we can write this as an ordered pair. Your x is 4 and your y is negative 2. All right, they give us a second point, f of x equals y. So they give us 8 as our x and 4 as our y. Now we're given 2 points. What can we do with 2 points? We can find the slope. So we're going to do 4 minus negative 2. Remember, we do y minus y over x minus x, so 8 minus 4. So we're going to do 4 minus a negative 2 becomes 4 plus 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. That is a sad looking 6. Let me see if I can do better than that. All right, and then 8 minus 4 is 4. So that's going to reduce to 3 halves. All right, so our slope is 3 halves. We have a point and a slope, so we can write an equation in point-slope form. So let's do y minus y1. Doesn't matter which point you choose. Let's choose this one. So our y would be negative 2 equals our slope. M equals 3 halves. X minus, our x value is 4. All right, we can simplify this a little bit. Y minus negative 2 would be y plus 2 equals 3 halves, x minus 4. Now, it just says write a linear function. It doesn't say in slope-intercept form. It doesn't say point-slope form. It just says write a function. If you want to leave it like this, This is an equation. It's a function in point-slope form. If you want to solve for y, then you would change it to slope-intercept form. That would be acceptable as well. All right, I want you to take just a moment, pause the video, work on the self-assessment, and see if you can get this on your own. Come back when you're ready to check your answer. All right, hopefully you got the 2 points from the equation. G of 2 equals 3, so G of x equals y, so your x and y, 2, 3 is your first point. And G of 6 equals 5, G of x, x would be 6, y would be 5, so 6, 5 is your second point. Take your 2 points, find your slope, and then write it in point-slope form. I used the first point. If you use the second point, you would have y minus 5 equals 1/2 times x minus 6. Either one of those would be correct. Correction here, it says write an equation in slope-intercept form. So I need to be careful and read. So I put it in point-slope form. So we do have to finish this out by distributing. So y minus 3 equals 1/2 x. 1/2 of -2 is -1, and then add 3. I almost stopped too early. So we were correct. We just had to put it in the right equation, the right form. So y equals 1/2 x, and then plus 2. All right, so slope-intercept form. This is now slope-intercept form. All right, again, if you use the other equation, you could still do the same process and put it in slope-intercept form.